Ladies and guys who like to check out her vertical smile. I'm proud of that one. Andy here, day 223.
Did you make that one up?
I didn't make anything up. Nothing I said, literally everything I've ever said is a takeaway from someone else.
I mean, it's kind of.
There are no original
human
ideas.
Knowledge is.
Yep.
Yeah,
We take from our ancestors.
of course.
I know nothing and I am dumb as fuck. So
Mm,
today is day 223 of the Inner Winner Show.
mm.
We're going to talk about philosophy and whether we have any original ideas. And we're also going to talk about how to orgasm at the same time as your partner. And this episode is brought to you by Pepsi,
It's not.
the delicious drink that gets you laid. Bitches love Pepsi. I love Pepsi.
Everyone
literally
likes
will
Coke,
get-
But you like Pepsi more.
All right, cancel this episode. Reminder to myself to kill my girlfriend after this episode because Pepsi is good shit. So why is it fun? Why is it fun, coming at the same time?
I'm glad you reiterated because I'm not sure if people would know whether Pepsi is fun or whether.
Why do you fall over?
Some good discussions are fun.
Yeah, so why is coming at the same time or orgasming, as the mainstream sex experts say? We call it coming because we're juvenile.
Is it juvenile?
I don't know. Why is it fun? Can you answer the fucking question? Everyone's getting angry now. This is like, I actually feel sorry for my audience at this point. I can tell that they're getting angry with you because you're not answering the question. Why is it fun? Why is it fun to orgasm at the same time as your partner?
Because
Mutual orgasm, simultaneous orgasm.
sharing a heightened like peak pleasure.
That's nerd shit. It's hot as fuck. So, the best way to do it. Some girls you can do it really easily with. Like some girls are just super sensitive, and they come really easy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is basically a persistence game, a timing game.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're talking about you got to get this like millisecond perfect. That's what we want here. Like you orgasm the moment she says I'm coming, you're like bam, and you just start streaming them jets, like shooting them ropes over the walls or whatever. I don't know what you guys do. I don't know how much like cereal you eat in the morning, but if you eat your Wheatie Bix or what do they call them in America? Your frosty fruit loops,
Sugar.
fruity shooty loops. You would shoot.
Diabetes.
Yeah,
Breakfast.
diabetes makes you come a lot further. So back on topic. Come on, you're being silly now. This is a very serious topic. So the easiest way to do it is whichever one of you comes the quickest.
Yep.
That person should keep themselves on the edge for the longest. So if you as the guy usually come like really quickly,
Yep.
just either be stroking yourself. This is probably easiest, we'll say, if you're stroking yourself, honestly. If you're both masturbating, like maybe she's using a shout outs to the magic wand vibrator. If she's using a vibrator
Favorite toy, yeah.
and you're just jerking yourself off, that's probably the easiest way to time it. It's harder to do this during sex. It can be done during sex, but that's a lot harder to like, because a lot of girls can't come from sex only. Like they need a little bit of like clitoral stimulation, as the sex experts call it in the mainstream.
Who are these mainstream sex experts?
There's lots of sex experts. We've been on podcasts with sex experts, for God's sakes. And they will say clitoral. Actually, they wouldn't. They would just say, like, rub her. No, they'd say clitoral stimulation. I think they would.
I think they'd say stimulate her clit.
Stimulate her clitoris. So, back on topic. You're getting very distracted. I'm going to have to kick you off the episode today. You go hang out with the llama and go into the other room, please. So, whichever one of you usually orgasms the quickest, like you're the quickest to come, that person should kind of like gently play with themselves and like kind of keep yourself like semi close to the edge, like within 15 seconds or 20 seconds of being on the edge. And you tell the other person, you got to tell me when you're getting close. And then whichever person takes the longest, that person, you want them to kind of just be enjoying themselves. It is like this does take a bit of practice. Like, no, with some girls, you can just do this easily. If she comes very easily, this is easy. Like some of the girls that we've dated, one we're seeing right now.
So easy. Not fair. I'm jealous.
You get so jealous. It's so fucking hilarious. I've made her come like 3 times now just from sex. Like not touching her, just only sex. And that's really rare. That's a really rare trait for most girls. And the other day, like I was having sex with you and I was just like very gently fingering her. And she just like, I'm coming. And I was like, bro, I've done nothing.
Yeah.
Dog. Like
once you
I'm
figure
fucking
out
around and you
what
can't.
to do.
So with that girl coming at the same time as child's play, like obviously don't have children in the bedroom during sex, but like
didn't need to be said.
Child's play is an express. It does need to be said, okay? Like pedophiles might be. I'm not okay with pedophiles. Stop watching my episode. I'm not okay with that shit. Yeah. So
Very sidetracked.
I'm trying to keep this on topic, okay?
Yeah.
Where were we? You distracted me. You're talking about pedophiles. I got confused.
So it's very easy when the other person.
Can come easily. Usually when the girl can come. This is easiest if the girl can come easily. And so a lot of girls can. Quite a few girls can orgasm pretty easily, but most take a little bit of time. Like they need a vibrator. They need a bit of stimulation. It takes like maybe 10 minutes. 10 minutes for a girl is reasonable. It gets easier the more she knows you. Girls obviously get more comfortable. The more they know you, they can open up in front of you. They can come a lot easier. But the first couple of times you see a girl, often it's like she just won't orgasm. Like you and I have talked about, I don't even try and make most girls orgasm the first like 2 times we see them. Unless they specifically say, yeah, I come really easily. And then, yeah.
Then it's easy.
But even then, this girl that orgasms very easily, did she orgasm the first time we saw her? I don't think she did. Like, it's not something that I usually focus on, or that we focus on. I've never really focused on that the first couple of times, because it's like, that's more for you guys just, it seems like a lot of pressure. Girls have always told me, like, it's pressure I know you want me to orgasm the first time I meet you. Like, that's a lot of pressure for me, so I just don't even bother, and I'm just like, yeah, we'll fuck around and have some fun. If she wants to orgasm, she wants to use the toy, I'll use it with her happily, but I don't put that pressure there. I don't have that expectation.
Yeah. And I think that once you kind of also like know what makes the other person tick, then it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. If you know, like, oh, this vibrator, she really likes that.
Yeah, what type of stimulation?
What setting?
From the example of the girl that we see together that orgasms really easily, like, now we know what to do. It's like super easy.
Yeah, I can make it come in like 10 seconds if I want to. Like, It's really fucking easy. Yeah. Even you, I can make you orgasm pretty consistently, pretty easily at this point. Like, it's like 10 minutes with a vibrator, 5 minutes with the fucking vibrator, to be honest. But that took a bit of time for you to like open up and shit. So I think a big part of the reason why this is fun, like, is because it can be like a fun exercise between both of you, especially if it's a girl that you've seen a few times. Again, if it's a girl who orgasms really easily, most of this episode is kind of like, don't worry about it, just do what you guys normally do. But for girls who take a little longer, this can be a fun thing that you guys do together. Once you figured out how do you make her orgasm, and again, cheat code, just buy this fucking thing. I'll leave a link in the description to this vibrator. You literally just turn it on. I wish it was plugged in right now. That would have been cool. So you turn it on, it's like super, super, super intense. Just use that. That's honestly the easiest thing. But once you figured out like how to make her orgasm and stuff, and she's comfortable with you, you're comfortable with her, you can run this like fun little experiment that you guys do together, this fun little challenge where you say like, hey, we should try one time. Like, come over one time. We'll try and both like orgasm at the same time. That'll be hot as hell. Like, a lot of girls that they've never done that before. Like, a guy hasn't bothered to do that, or they've done it once or twice, like almost accidentally with a guy that they were dating for like years, and like once or twice it happened. Like, even you and I have not done this all that often. Yeah. Most of the times we do is when we literally set out and say like, hey, let's try and do it today. It would be fun. And then it's like a fun little couples thing that you guys do together.
Yeah, specifically because it takes like a little bit more for me to orgasm.
So you got to be a bit patient.
Accidentally, yeah.
Yeah. But again, part of the reason I like this is because, like, you know, if the girl does take a little longer and you give her the vibrator or you put it on her, you get to like, it's like free porn for you, like as the guy. You get to like jerk off and look at her and she's moaning. Maybe you're kissing her. Maybe you're sucking on her tits. Maybe you're biting her neck. Maybe you're spanking her. Like, whatever you're doing, you're jerking off. Or she can be giving you a blowjob or something while she's got the vibrator between her legs. That's hot as fucking hell. And she's moaning onto your dick. Like, that's hot.
Yeah, it's very erotic seeing
it's hot as
each
hell.
other get more and more turned on.
Because you keep escalating. Both of you going like crazier and crazier.
Yeah, and once one of the people gets closer to...
Oh my god, that just like fucking sets you off, yeah.
That's really hot because at that point they're desperate and they're like super horny.
Mm-hmm.
And them having to like edge or like basically hold off is what edging is. To kind of stay on the edge, like just about to orgasm, like on the brink of an orgasm, but then holding off.
Yeah.
As the person that's edging, it's very intense because.
And when we say edging, we mean you're right at the edge of coming and you're trying to hold off. That's what edging means.
Yeah. As the person that's doing that, it's very intense and it makes you a bit crazy. And then watching...
It does make you fucking crazy, yeah.
Watching the other person then, like, be so turned on and so desperate and so horny
Mm-hmm.
That's very erotic.
It's like you just keep escalating each other. Yeah, and if you're the one that's really close to the edge, for most of you guys listening, excuse me, I'm dying here. Pepsi did it to me. For most of you guys listening, you'll be the one that's like on the edge of orgasm. And she'll likely be the one that's like, you're waiting for her. And so you being really close to the edge, you being like, holy fuck, like I could come anytime. Like you trying to hold yourself off. Like she looks at you and she's literally like, holy shit, especially if you're jerking off. She's like, holy shit, he's literally getting off on me. That's an incredible turn on to a woman. And then you'll see that she starts getting turned on by that, which then makes you go, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like you're bouncing off each other. You're like mirroring each other's energy and you are like escalating each other higher and higher. I think it's part of the reason this is so much fun, as opposed to normal sex where it's just like, I mean, sex is fucking amazing, don't get me wrong, but like this is like a very much like escalating each other. Like you're both pushing towards the inevitable fireworks that you both get to experience together. It's like more climactic than sex. Yeah. Sex is like a wonderfully fun thing, don't get me wrong. I like sex. I've had sex. You can tell I've had sex.
I think also too, like, actually getting to that point, like when you both orgasm or come, or whatever you want to call it, it just feels like it feels so good, and then to know that like
yeah, it's like you're sharing it.
Yeah, the other person is feeling as good. I don't know,
yeah, whereas normally during sex, like when you come, she's not usually orgasming at the same point. Yeah. And then if she's having an orgasm, you're usually not getting off at the same, like she's just having one. And that's fun as hell, it's hot.
Yeah, generally speaking, like it's fun to watch and be like, I know they feel really good.
Yeah, it's not the same as being there in the moment with them.
And feeling as good. And
yeah. It's like you're both going to Disneyland at the same time. Rather than like she goes to Disneyland, then it's your turn later. Yeah. Again, I think the vibrator is the easiest way. You can also do it during sex. And I would say if you're going to do that, honestly, just use the vibrator. I think it's just too much effort to try and... Like this... I'm so lazy. That's probably why I like recommend this all the time. I think it is a laziness thing, but like when you're having sex with her, you'll obviously, as the guy, you're the one that usually orgasms, right? As the guy usually comes first. Like, you know, it's because we're better at sex. I think that's why women suck at orgasm. Generally speaking, men, you guys know what I'm talking about. At any point in time, we could orgasm, right? Within 5 minutes, we could just have an orgasm. That's fucking cool as shit. Women cannot say the same. Now, some women can, but most women cannot say that. That means men are literally better at orgasming. So, during sex, we agree that women suck at everything now. We've established that.
I don't think being...
Extrapolate. Think about it. If you're terrible at orgasming, that means you're terrible at giving yourself pleasure. That means you're terrible at experiencing pleasure, which means you're terrible at everything.
I think you have the rules.
QED, bitches. Aristotle is on I have the power of Aristotle, who was also a man. I bet Aristotle came 5 times a day. And Socrates. I just use the Socratic method on your ass. QED, bitch. So, now that we're in agreement with that, where was I going with this? Having an orgasm during sexual coitus. I think it's easier if you're just having sex, like you as the guy just doing your shit, and then just use this, just like put it on there, on her clit, and then make sure you like move really slowly so that you don't like... When you're having sex with her, kind of go slow so that you don't like come too quickly. It's a timing thing again. And tell her, we should have said this earlier, whichever one of you takes the longest, which again will usually be the woman, but whoever takes the longest, that person has to tell the other person when they're getting close.
Yeah. Because it doesn't work.
Yeah. The point is you, usually as the man, will be kind of on the edge. You'll be pretty close to coming like for most of this, right? You'll feel like, yeah, within like 20 seconds I could just start rubbing really harder, or I could, fuck you a little harder and then I could come. So she needs to tell you when she's like, I don't know, 20 seconds away. When she feels like, I think I could come soon. And then you'll be like, okay, I'll start going a bit faster. And then when she's like, oh shit, I think I'm going to come. That's when you go balls to the wall and you just like go batshit crazy and come with her. But the good thing about this is you can kind of move really slowly as the guy, like have sex with her really slowly. And the vibrations from this also kind of go on your dick. And it does make you have to be really careful that it's not too stimulating and you accidentally come within like fucking 30 seconds because this thing is crazy. But like if you just put it mostly on her clit and a tiny bit of the vibrations will like run down to your dick, that feels amazing. You and I have done that sometimes too. Yeah. That's really cool. I like doing that with this because it's a different type of orgasm, especially if you stop having sex. Like if you just stay still with your dick like half in her, and the other half like getting touched by like the vibrator or getting the vibrations from this thing while you're also getting off. That's amazing. That's like a weird orgasm. That's not how guys normally orgasm. I know that's how you orgasm like every single time. It's like this slow, like rolling orgasm. It feels like a wave. Like, man, I sound so like romantic with this shit, but it sounds like a wave like gently rolling over the top. It's not a usual orgasm. Guys normally when they come, it's like aggressive. It's like someone punched your dick or something. It's like guys orgasm very violently. If you use this thing, it's like you'll feel it coming like 30 seconds away, which is not how guys normally come. They're like, bro, I got like 2 seconds warning on that bad boy. Like, I'm going to tell you, oh, I'm going to come. And then I've just started coming like immediately. Whereas like with this thing, it's like 30 seconds away. You're like, oh shit, I think I'm going to fucking come. And then like it takes 30 seconds to like and you're like, oh shit, I am. It's like a tidal wave coming from the distance, but like many less islanders will die. Less Indonesians will die from this. Shout outs to any Indonesians watching. Selamat pagi. Apa kabar? Kabar baik. Baik-baik saja. That's fucking bahasa Indonesia. You like that shit, boy? Yeah. Bagus. Very bagus. Yeah, boy. That to my two, if there's any Indonesians watching, Malaysians, you'll know what I'm saying because your language is the same. And I know you guys get so fucking mad when I tell them that. When I go to Malaysia and I was like speaking fucking Indonesian and they all like understand me. They're like, oh, you speak Malay? And I was like, no, I'm speaking Indonesian. And they get so fucking mad. They're like, our language is different. And it's like, then why am I speaking Indonesian, dipshit? And you're understanding everything I'm saying. The Indonesians don't seem to care as much though. But like, yeah. Any Malaysians?
Asia's
Any
very
Indonesians?
racist against the rest of Asia, I will say. Like every
Yeah, because it's like a race to like who can be the best Asian.
Asian person that I've
Which
met,
Asia wins? I'm gonna say
including my father.
in terms of food, I'm gonna say Japan
I was
wins.
gonna say Japanese.
Yep,
Chinese
good job.
food's great.
Chinese food's alright, but a little too like sweet for me. I don't think we get the good Chinese experience here. I think we get like the Western version of Chinese food, and it's way too sweet. I don't like it.
You could get good Chinese.
Anyway, back on topic. Korean's good too. Shout out to any Koreans. Anyway, any Malaysians, shout out, and Indonesians. So you'll get a slow rolling orgasm with this thing. I kind of like that. That's kind of fun as hell.
I will say the bonus of also, like it is a little bit harder, generally speaking, but if you do have mutual orgasms during sex, there's a couple of pros. I guess one being that if you're a girl getting fucked by the guy, if you're...
As opposed to a guy getting fucked by the girl.
Which can happen.
Sure. She has a big old dick.
As you're getting closer and then... like the guy starts fucking you harder, it makes the orgasm more intense because as you're getting closer and closer to the edge, all of a sudden like the actual penetrative element is more intense. That feels really good.
Which is kind of going to happen anyway, because if you're doing it during sex, you as the guy, you're probably going to be going really gentle because you're trying not to come. And then the second she's like, oh, I'm going to come, then you're just going to go crazy like you are because
also this is an assumption, but I'm assuming that when the girl orgasms and you're inside her, you can feel her. Like,
for sure.
squeezing.
You can feel, and that's another reason why this is fun. Even with a condom, like you can absolutely feel like she's squeezing like crazy. Because when you orgasm, your pussy like squeezes, like clenches. That's a better way of saying it. Like gets tighter. And so you feel that on your dick and you're like, oh, that's hot as hell. And when you as the guy comes, she can feel it. It's like your dick is like throbbing inside her. So that's a hell of a lot of fun. If you want to go super ultra advanced mode, you can do it like 69 where you're like, she's giving you a blowjob and you're eating her out. But that's like fucking playing on hard mode.
Yeah.
I think I've done that in my entire life like 3 times.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've never really tried. It's not something that I've ever really cared enough to try. So like, if you want to try that, go for it. Again, probably an easier way is to like use the vibrator or something or get her really close to the edge so she's already turned on. And in that case, she's going to have to give you a blowjob a lot more gently than you licking her clit. Because you're probably going to be the one that orgasms a lot quicker.
Yeah. It really just depends. And it's a lot easier. I will add in the caveat of like, I think particularly like we've been with multiple girls who I think one had never come ever.
Is that the ginger chick you're talking about?
I can't remember.
With small boobies? Ginger chick with small boobies had never come with anyone else. Or are you saying come in general ever?
Yeah,
oh, that's
from Melbourne. But yeah, anyway. Point being that I think that if you do have a harder time coming, you do want to know the person well enough that there's not this pressure of like I have to, and I think
that's why I said make sure you've orgasm. You've get great sentence, fuckhead. Make sure you have given her orgasms before, or she's orgasmed with you.
Yeah. You almost want to be at a point where you're comfortable enough that
if you don't,
if you don't orgasm, it's like that's all good. Like I don't care.
Honey,
Still
we're
have
in
fun.
love. We're finishing each other's sentences now. That's how you know this is a relationship. It's more than a friendship. I'm out of the friend zone, boys. Yeah, like there's... Oh, yeah. Again, that's why I said set this up as like a fun, cutesy little challenge. And if you guys fuck it up, which you probably will the first couple of times you try it,
Yeah.
or even if she just doesn't orgasm, if she gets to a point... If she hasn't come for like, a long period of time, like 30 minutes of like... Especially using the vibrator, if she hasn't come for like 30 minutes, just be like, hey, do you want to try something else? And she'll probably be like, thank God, yes. Yeah. I felt like a fucking loser that couldn't orgasm for you. Yeah. Girls get very self-conscious. I think guys, like, both genders do it. Tend to get very in your own head. You're focused on your shit and you forget what the other person's... Like, so guys do this a lot. And I get it from the guy's point of view because I used to be the same. It's like, you're sitting there going like, God, like, I can't make her orgasm. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm not a man. Like, you have these, like, feelings of I'm not a man. In her mind, she's like, I'm not a woman because I can't orgasm. I'm gross. I'm a loser. Like...
Yeah. Why can't I just like...
Yeah, why can't I be good for him?
Yep.
He probably thinks that, and it's like, you're both in your own head so deep that you got to like bridge that gap and be like, hey, are you feeling awkward right now? And she's like, yeah. And you're like, oh shit, me too. I thought I was doing a bad job. And she's like, I thought I was doing a bad job. I'm the one trying to orgasm. And you're like, yeah, but I'm the one trying to make you orgasm. And she's like, fuck, but like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you find out in high school that everyone else is insecure too.
Yeah, for sure.
Although a lot of the time you never figure that out.
Top secret news, guys, in case you didn't know, everyone's insecure. I'm insecure as fuck. So we'll finish up with a good story. Insecurity is a good thing, by the way. I love that I'm insecure. I fucking love that I'm so insecure because it makes me fix the things that I'm insecure about.
Yeah.
It's the best motivation ever. Insecurity is a goddamn good thing. So we'll finish up with a good story. I'll see if you know the story. It's from the other day, so it was really recent. With the girl, and she was doing the thing, and I was doing the other thing, and we're doing things to each other, and then your thing was in her thing, and my thing was in your thing, and like things were in each other's things.
Yeah, I'm sure the audience is really just like getting on
Guys,
the
we're
phone
having
about
sexual coitus.
Yeah.
So, she was giving me a blowjob, and you were using this or the other vibrator. I think you're using this one. One of the two.
Yeah.
And we were like looking into each other's eyes, beautiful, like eye to eye contact. A man and a woman deeply in love, staring into each other while another girl's giving her man a blowjob.
Yep.
That's the only way love should be expressed. And so you were on the edge, and you were the one waiting for me because you'd already been working up. You'd already used this thing for like ages, and like you were like, "I'm ready to go, boy." Whenever you are, that's literally what you said. You said, "Hey, big boy,
Yeah.
I'm ready to fire. I'm ready to go to the moon, boy.
Is that how I
I'm ready to
talk,
shoot
is it?
fireworks." Yeah, that's how you always talk. And I said, like, wait for me, baby. Don't leave without me. The ship isn't ready to sail yet. You got no man left behind. That's the U.S. American policy. And I want you to follow that.
What is
in
this
the
episode?
This episode, they're all shit. I mean, they're all wonderful. So, anyway, you waited for me, and then keep it PG for YouTube. I came on the girl's fucking face.
You already flag all your
Did I
stuff
come?
as
Yeah,
adult.
yeah. Did I come in her face or her mouth? I can't remember. Anyway, it was a
On her
good
face.
time.
And like it's
Fucking hot. And then you guys kissed. That was hot as hell. But the point is, like, that was a fun thing where we were both like, you were waiting for me, which is kind of like the reverse of what usually happens. And then like you were like, I'm ready when you are. And we were like, that was so much fun. I was like looking into your eyes like the whole time while trying to like look at her, obviously. But like, it was mostly you and I looking at each other, and she really got off on that. Like that was a lot of fun. And we had a mutual orgasm, guys. We pulled it off.
much enjoyed.
It was a mutual orgasm. And I said, that was a good mutual orgasm. And you were like, yeah. And she was like, you guys did a good mutual orgasm today. And I'm glad I could be a part of it. Next time we're going to do a 3-way mutual orgasm.
Yeah, just because she is so like
That
it's so
story.
easy to make her come. You can talk about the foursome.
The foursome. When we had the foursome. And I swear to God, like actually, I don't know why people believe me on this. Because when I say it, it sounds like such a bullshit story.
I don't even remember us all orgasming.
You're so full of shit. I got you to send me a text afterwards,
at the
literally so
point
I
in
would
time,
have
I
evidence. I
believed
got
you.
all three of you to send me evidence because I knew no one would believe me. We had a foursome, like me and you and 2 other girls.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
That's 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
And we all orgasmed at the same time. I say at the same, it was like within like 10 seconds of each other.
Sure.
And I was like, no one's going to believe me. So I got all of you to like, I was like, hey, we all had a mutual orgasm at the same time, right? And you were like, yeah. Like all of you were like, yeah. And so I have the screenshots. I wrote an article about it. I literally have all the screenshots of everyone saying like, yeah, because I was like, no one's going to believe this. But like, that's hard. If any of you guys can do that with 4 girls, so a 5-some, where you all have, if you guys can have an orgy, then I'll give you $100. Legit, I will give anyone $100 that can do that. But I need some form of evidence.
Sure.
Obviously, you can't just say that you did it.
Mm.
But yeah, that was like, I don't even know how that happened. That was like, I think we were all just like,
accidental.
that was not planned. That was like we were all going crazy
Yep.
because it was like really fucking fun. And one of the girls orgasmed really quickly. I don't know how you orgasmed.
I was using a toy, I think.
Yeah, but you normally like take a
Take
little
a
bit of
while.
time. That was like you two orgasmed at the same, or you were like, you both said like, we're going to orgasm. And then the girl that I was having sex with was like, I think I might too. And then my little cute little boy brain was like, I can't handle this. This is too hot. And I was just like, because I was nowhere near orgasming. I was nowhere near. And then it was like my brain was overstimulated. We talked on the previous episode about pleasure and pain. My brain was like overstimulated. I was like, there's too much going on. It's like my dick was like, bro, you gotta bail. Like you gotta bust out of here. Like there's 3 women orgasming in your presence, bro. It was like osmosis. I osmosised your orgasms. I was like a sponge, and your energy, you're all like orgasming. And so my dick was like, well, I guess we all got to orgasm. It's like if you see a bunch of people yawning, you'll yawn. It was like you all orgasmed, and I was like, me too. And I like came.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. That was really fun. That was like the peak. We're never gonna beat that moment. I don't think anything we can ever do will be like crazier than that,
Sure.
unless we go have sex on like with Mickey Mouse at Disneyland.
I feel like that's against the Disneyland.
I feel like you're
thing.
going to jail if you have sex because there's children around.
You can hire out a park, and then there can be no children.
Yeah.
You can have a
I don't
week.
really like children around when I'm having sex. I will say that right now on the record. I just find it really fucked up. I find it off-putting. I just don't enjoy it, I'll be honest. I mean, I've never tried it.
Terrible.
Yeah, don't have sex with children around. I understand some parents and shit have to kind of do that.
That's
Like my
true.
parents like got their freak on, but like you got to be quiet. You got to have the door shut and stuff. Apparently, like any guys out there, really good tip is put Vaseline on the door so the kids can't open the door because it's like slippery. If you don't, or you can lock your door, but like
Where did you hear that tip? Where did that come from? Who's going around saying that other than you just then?
mainstream sex advice.
Oh god,
People.
no. That's not. Mm-mm.
I brought that back full 360.